One, T.
Trent Alexander-Arnold.
This UEFA Euro 2024 programme is sponsored by Alipay Plus.
If you really do this, you're gonna make mistakes. What if I'm not a hero? You can be better.
One, BBC One only. Dr. Who, 1830 to 1920.
The Traitors US. Press red for all episodes on BBC iPlayer.
It's Saturday night down here with our first live game on BBC One. Goals is what we all want. There's nothing like it. Let's kick this off. It's the Euros 2024.
Good evening. The opening weekend of Euro 2024 sees the defending champions Italy in action. 3 years ago at Wembley, England fans thought the round ball might be returning to its residence. The Azzurri had other ideas and it relocated to Rome. Our sense of tense-on evening lies ahead. We're all fans of England tonight.
Are England's young lions ready for the game of their lives? Nicely into Kane, that's a great ball.
Can we have a look at that? Here he comes. Just got to hit the target.
And it's Luke Shaw! Championship final is the fastest ever scored. Excitement around Wembley's reached levels never hit before.
These guys know how to win. There's excitement around the country.
Italy nil, England 1. The start of dreams. Italy are dangerous.
Surprised? Not really, no.
It's been coming. You have to say that. Look at the back. A full England side in attack. Time for a
Listen, I am the man for the job.
Kane, England's captain. Brilliant. Never in doubt. Now Gareth Southgate just lets a little bit out. A little bit of impromptu dancing on the line. But it's there to stop it. England will still alive.
Just take a breath.
Bukayo Saka has huge responsibility on his young shoulders. Saka has to score. It's penalties. Proves to be the dagger in English arms.
Congratulations, Italy. Roberto Mancini guided Italy to Euros glory, but it's Luciano Spalletti who leads them now. The Italians begin their defence against Albania, who are featuring in a major tournament for just the second time after Euro 2016. Their coach Silvinho is a name familiar to fans of Arsenal and Manchester City. The Brazilian is assisted by Pablo Zabaleta. There's been one game already in Group B, which is now led by Spain after they beat Croatia 3-0 through first half goals from Alvaro Morata, Fabian Ruiz and Dani Carvajal. The next game for the Spanish is against Italy on Thursday, while Croatia take on Albania on Wednesday. Welcome to our home for the next 4 weeks in front of the Brandenburg Gate here in Berlin. Alan Shearer and Mike Richards joined by a man who twice won the Euros and threw in a World Cup for good measure. But Alan, he never won Le Tournoi.
That's a very good point, actually.
Welcome, Cesc Fabregas. Lovely to see you again, Cesc. Thoughts on Spain's performance before we get cracking? Good start.
Yeah, great start. I think tomorrow the paper will say that we're already in the finals. The final in Spain will be...
You do that as well in Spain.
Yeah,
it's not just in
we
England.
are the same. To make you feel better, we are the same.
Yeah. You've been coaching in Italy, in Como, and many congratulations, promotion to Serie A. Well done on that. What are you expecting from Spalletti's team, having had a close look at Italian football?
Well, I think we kind of followed his career. It's no surprise that he's been picked up out of his experience, the way he wants to play. He performed really well last year, obviously, with Napoli, winning the Serie A. It was always difficult playing against top teams. And I think it's also about the style, you know. Mancini brought something special 4 years ago when they won the tournament, and they wanted to give this continuity. And I think Spalletti is the right man for the job.
Yeah, okay. Micah, in a parallel universe, you could be coaching Albania. We've got a graphic of a Manchester City team that was playing against Middlesbrough. I think it was in 2010. And there you've got Silvinho, Zabaleta and Richards.
Yes.
Look at that.
It was a beautiful team there. Look at the bench as well. Trippier, I was keeping Trippier out.
Yeah.
Zabaleta was midfield, moving to midfield. I was playing right back. Good times.
Where did it all go wrong?
I don't know. What are we going to do in Berlin?
Yeah.
This is fantastic, eh?
Did you play the full game?
Oh, I think I did, yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I only got took off at half time,
It's
no?
not very nice,
It's
honestly.
not really.
You spoke to Silvinho yesterday.
Yeah, I
Albania.
FaceTimed him yesterday along with Zabaleta. They was optimistic. They was quietly confident, and I think the fact in training, Broja has looked really good this end. So looking forward to seeing how he does.
Okay, well, we saw Italy winning the competition obviously 3 years ago and against England in the final. Can you see the three lions go one step closer, one step nearer, which would mean winning it?
Yes, I can. I think that's the way the players and the coaches and we all should think. We've been to a semi-final, we've been to a final. That's a great experience. So there's different players, but with a little bit of luck, who knows? I know we've got problems defensively, but yes, they should be thinking that way.
Yeah, I told you, Cesc, we all think the same. Okay, we'll come back to the Euros very shortly, but everyone at Match of the Day would just like to send their condolences to the family and friends of Kevin Campbell, who died today at the age of just 54.
Kevin Campbell was the coldest of finishers, but the warmest of men. In football's transient world, he was a player who made lasting bonds, christened simply Super Kev.
Has clinched the points now for Arsenal.
His career began gloriously. He was at the sharp end of a golden period with Arsenal. He won the league and 3 other cups with the Gunners. After spells at Nottingham Forest and Trabzonspor in Turkey, he arrived at Everton. Relegation threatened, a club in need of a hero. Super Kev delivered. He scored 9 goals in his first 8 games to keep them up. Evertonians never forgot it. He'd cement his place in Toffee hearts over the coming years, before finishing his playing days at West Brom and Cardiff City. Only an England cap was missing from a remarkable career, but there was no bitterness, only shared joy. The tributes today speak of treasured memories of a disarmingly humble, yet undeniably super Kev.
So sad. You played with Kevin with England under 21. What are your memories of him like?
Yeah, I did. I was lucky enough to play with him, as you said, under 21s and work with him bits on TV over the years. He had an infectious personality and a great character. And you can see with the outpouring of grief today how much he will be missed. So I'm sending our condolences to all his family and friends. Such sad news.
Absolutely echo those sentiments. So many lovely posts on social media, including one from Wayne Rooney, who described Kevin as a great person and a brilliant teammate, and also from Ian Wright with pictures from their Arsenal days saying, "Till we meet again, my friend, I love you so much." And there was more incredibly sad news today with the announcement that Millwall and Montenegro goalkeeper Matija Sarkic has died at the age of just 26. Sarkic played youth team football for Anderlecht before moving on to Aston Villa and Wolves. He joined Millwall in August and made 33 appearances last season. The club said they were completely devastated. Mikey, you got to know him at Aston Villa, didn't you?
Yeah, he was a young lad coming through Aston Villa, trained with the first team. And when I got the news, I was absolutely devastated. Just 26 years of age, gone way too soon. I've been a little bit down all day thinking about it, for being totally honest. But I just want to send my condolences to his family. And yeah,
it's been a dreadful day. We'll move on. The other two matches played so far took place in Group A. Scotland kicking things off last night against the host nation, Germany.
A sensational stadium, a wonderful opening ceremony, and hopefully a magical month ahead. It could be monumental for Scotland. It may be a return to the pinnacle for Germany. Germany have the lead inside 10 minutes. Havertz for Germany. And Musiala defeat 2-0. This has been a sobering 20 minutes for Scotland. Gundogan. Well, if that's not a penalty, I'd be astonished. And it is a red card. Scotland trailing 2 goals to 0. Now down to 10. 3-0. And it's going to be a mighty long second half for Scotland. Oh, brilliant ball into Gundogan. Full cracker. Goodness me, what a finish that is. That's touched by Ford and it's deflected. It's in. It's an own goal. Scotland are on the score sheet, but they're enjoying that goal, and it is that winner for the Scotland team. Sending it to Muller. Muller pulls it back, and it's in the net. From Emre Can. It is Germany's biggest ever victory at the European Championship finals and Scotland's heaviest ever defeat. Germany 5, Scotland 1.
Credit to Germany, we couldn't match them and the game ran away from us very quickly.
So disappointing. Come tomorrow, we have to put it behind us and move on quickly.
So this is how things stand in Group A after Switzerland beat Hungary 3-1 today. You can watch those goals on the BBC Sport website. Germany lead the way. Scotland play Switzerland on Wednesday. Mike, it was a tough night.
It was disappointing. It was very disappointing because I thought Scotland, you know, the emotion, the fans were singing all day. I travelled with the fans, it looked like there was a really good effort. They sat in a really deep block, but when they was in that deep block, it wasn't aggressive when they was trying to press the ball. And, you know, the game, I think the quality shone in the end. Germany was just too good. Yeah. And in the pivotal moments, they really punished them.
One goal in particular summed it up for you, Alan.
Yeah, it was. I couldn't see the plan, you know, when what they were trying to do without the ball. It's a really difficult position to play centre forward when you're going to be under so much pressure. I don't mind giving the ball away, but when it's going to be difficult, when you haven't got the ball, when you're not in possession, you have to try and affect it. And this is what I thought that they could have done better. Che Adams' position in there, if he goes there, moves himself 3 yards, stops that pass and can stop that pass, It's all right if you go backwards, it's no problem. But also what you're trying to do is you're forcing them into a position where your traffic is, where your players are. But instead, because he didn't do that and move himself to stop those passes, you're giving these good players the opportunity to play wherever they want and however they want. And when there's no pressure on the ball like that, they can do that. And then Germany are a very, very good team. It was always going to be a difficult night, but I just felt they didn't give themselves the best opportunity. I mean, that's a great goal. It's a very, very good finish. But you have to try and give yourselves a better opportunity. And as I said, I just didn't see the game plan without the ball.
Yeah, credit to Germany though, Sesh. The host nation looks strong.
Yes, they do very much, and I think they play modern football. The way they take offensively in charge of the game, they defensively they press forward all the time. You know, they are very enthusiastic to watch, to be fair. But you know, the most important for me is how they manage the game. You know, they always hungry. They look to go after the ball. They want to recover it. They want to control the game. They want to score goals, and I think they deserve. It's one of those that you don't know if they were super good or Scotland were very poor. The next game will tell us a bit more, but I think it's one of the candidates to be this tournament.
Okay, before we move on, it's been a tough week for everyone associated with Match of the Day. The news that Alan Hansen was seriously ill in hospital shocked us all, didn't it, Alan?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, we're great friends with Al. We know his character. We know he's a fighter. We know how tough he is. So we're thinking of you, big man, and we're with you, and we're hoping, we're praying for you.
Yeah, certainly are. Everyone at Match of the Day sends love and thoughts to Janet, Lucy and Adam and the grandchildren. To use an analogy of Alan's favourite pastime, golf, he might be 3 down with 4 to play, but if anyone can come back from it, it's Alan. I've never known a more competitive person in my life. We're all with you, big Al. Back to tonight, and the game's being played in Dortmund, home of the famous Yellow Wall. Italy's last competitive appearance here was a 2-0 victory over Germany in the 2006 World Cup semi-final before going on to beat France in the final. But they've missed out altogether on the last 2 World Cups and were a distant second to England in qualifying. Luciano Spalletti took over when Roberto Mancini resigned 2 games into the campaign. The real rebuilding job remains a work in progress, as James Horncastle explains.
Italy are the champions of Europe.
No sooner had their hangover worn off from winning the Euros, they're straight into World Cup qualifiers. And then they had these 2 games against Switzerland. And Jorginho had penalties in each of them, and he missed. Those are the fine margins that put your qualification in jeopardy. They had to go through a World Cup playoff, and they lost to North Macedonia. This was a nightmare. Roberto Mancini was expected to resign, but it was so soon after winning the Euros, he had enough credit in the bank, he stayed on. But the national team started to drift a little bit, and he quit, which was deeply controversial, because no one walks out on the Azzurri. So Luciano Spalletti just won the league title with Napoli for the first time since 1990. Didn't want to leave that, but his country called. He had to take over this quite drastic situation. Italy were 3rd in the group, and immediately they faced North Macedonia, the team that had stopped them from going to the World Cup. And then in November you have this huge crunch game against Ukraine, which right in the last minute of the game is a sense that Ukraine should have been given a penalty. So a lot of drama going into Italy's qualification, but in the end they made it. Spalletti is an ingenious manager. He's coming to the national team, doesn't want the team to be rigid and be playing in a set system, and they're quite a slick proposition. The problem is, it doesn't have the foundation that Italy coaches have been able to rely upon over the last 10 or 15 years, which is Giorgio Chiellini and Leonardo Bonucci, both of whom have retired. Because Spalletti hasn't been in the job for more than a year, there's still a massive work in progress. As much as people focus on Italy not qualifying for World Cups anymore, they're a real force when it comes to this competition. But it does make that first Albania game pivotal.
Let's have a look at the Italian starting lineup. Goalkeeper Donnarumma was UEFA's player of the tournament at Euro 2020, and he's now the Azzurri captain. Calafiori wins only his third cap in what looks to be a back four, though it could change in and out of possession. Keyman Barella has recovered from injury to start alongside Jorginho. Attacking midfielder Fratesi rarely starts for Inter, but has 5 goals in 15 games for Italy. Centre forward has been a problem area, but Scamacca gets the nod thanks to prolific form for Atalanta. Well, we've got what? We've got a defender, we've got a midfielder, we've got a striker. So let's start at the back, Micah.
Yes.
Bastoni.
Bastoni, absolutely brilliant. Inter Milan. Can play left back, can play centre half, but I want to talk about what he can do on the ball, which I think will be very important in today's game. When Albania press, he has got to be the one to break the lines, and then can he get the ball wide to, if it's Stasi, if it's Chiesa on these wide positions. And the way Albania play and the way they go in that low block, it's going to be very important in what they do on the ball. And I just think he is a key player. And because he's a centre-half, we have to mention what he can do, you know, in defence as well. But these positions here, and he's going to be up against Broja, which is a really good battle I'm looking forward to. Sometimes he commits and overcommits, but after he reads, he doesn't sort of get unsettled. He concentrates on what he wants to do, see him there, runs in behind him. A lot of players, he checks where he needs to be, and then he's back in position. So I'm looking forward to this battle between Broja and Bastonia today.
Onto the midfield. Cesc, what do you make of it?
Well, we're waiting for the news if Barella was fit enough to play, because I think it would have been a big miss. I think he's that diamond in midfield that every coach loves. His discipline, he has this runs into the box, he scores goals, he can run all games, so it's a big news for him. And then you have Pellegrini, who didn't have a good, particularly 6 good months at the beginning of the season, but he picked up with De Rossi as a coach. He ended up the season very well, and I think day 3 mix up very, very well, and they will be vital.
How important is Jorginho to?
Yeah, obviously, he's not the same player, you know, as he used to be 3-4 years ago. Maybe, you know, he doesn't play that much for Arsenal, but he's still key for them, because Spalletti, the way he wants to play, he wants to keep the positional game very, very well. He wants the possession of the ball, and he, you know, needs to keep playing forward, needs to keep playing this dynamic football that he does, and he should be the center of attention in midfield for Italy.
Up top, Alan, it's not a team full of goals if you look at the statistics from this season.
No, you actually said which has been a bit of a problem position for them, but in Scamacca, it's his first Euros, and what happened is that you can see the number of goals that were scored by in squads by players, and then you can see where England are. So yeah, it's definitely been a problem for Italy. But I know he's only got 1 goal. He's got 16 caps, Scamacca, but he's had a really good season for Atlanta. He's got 12 in his last 18 games since March. So in terms of goals, he's in forward. I mean, the manager not so long after he got in was looking for a reaction from him. Actually, called him lazy. So you're actually saying to the player, okay, I'm testing you, I want a reaction from you. And to be fair to him, he's given them a great reaction. So there's no doubt about it, they're going to be looking to him to fire the goals for them.
Big difference from when he was at West Ham in terms of his numbers.
Yeah, I think he was probably played a slightly different role, or was asked to play a different role there. He'll be asked to spend most of his time in and around the 18-yard box when they have got the ball.
Okay, let's take a look at the Albania lineup. Brentford's reserve goalkeeper, Strakosha, has been selected instead of veteran Berisha, who began all 3 games at Euro 2016. Lazio right back Husey is one of 10 squad members based in Italy. That also includes 22-year-old Inter midfielder Aslani, who started 7 of the 8 qualifiers. Striker Broja ended the season on loan at Fulham from Chelsea and scored his first Albania goal for 2 years earlier this month. And here's Pablo Zabaleta to tell us more about them. Don't worry, Micah, he's not taking your place just yet.
Welcome to Albania, welcome to Tirana. Beautiful place, a beautiful city. Had a phone call from Silvino when I was in Qatar working with BBC. He called me saying that he was having an interview with the president of the Albania Federation because they were looking for a new coach. He sent me a few games to have a look. And I remember I was watching Albanian games in the morning and then working with Gary Lineker and all the lads in the afternoon doing some game from the stadium. So I was very busy during those days. Then he say, okay, Pablo, I got one more question. He said, would you like to come with me and be my assistant coach? I say, wow, that coming from Silvino was something very special. He's Brazilian, I'm Argentinian, which is something that people always laugh about. They say, oh, an Argentinian and Brazilian can't understand how we work together. We played together at Man City for one season. Since then, we've been very close to each other, and that's why I said being the assistant coach of him. And we made this country, this nation, feel proud of our national team.
The leader of Albania, Enver Hoxha, has died at the age of 76. For 41 years, Hoxha ruled Albania with an iron hand.
During the years of communism, Albania was isolated. Hoxha was a complete dictator that made it difficult in every field of life.
This was a very bad time, and really, I try all my life to cancel from my memory this time.
Our exploits in football were not so many. We had years where we isolated ourselves from the world and we didn't take part in competitions, and our results, to say it better, were terrible.
My name is Redi Jupi. I played 25 matches for the Albanian national team. It was a very tough time. In 91, 92, we changed the system from a communist Albania. 7 years later, it was a kind of civil war. It's in 97 in Albania.
The government of Albania, struggling to stop the country being engulfed by civil war, has imposed a state of emergency and a nationwide curfew.
Not everybody was focused on football. The football was the last thought of the people at that time.
When the communism is finished, people go to live outside. And now we take many players from these families.
The immigration helped as well in the last few years, because many players are born abroad and they are raised abroad and they are trained abroad, and now they know better how to be professional, let's put it this way.
I think around 60% of the players, they are not born in Albania. They're born in Italy, in Germany, in England, in Switzerland. They can have better possibility to be big player.
But we have to grow players here, because we can be stronger. We can have more players, more alternatives, and a stronger national team.
We are in the Albania Federation. This is where we work every day. It's in the middle of Tirana. Sometimes it is true that when we do some tactical work, we are always looking in some of the building. If there is someone looking at the training session, thinking there could be someone from the other team.
We qualified in 2016, and now we are again qualified. And this atmosphere, you can see that people like this, you know. They want to be part of these big tournaments.
We're like super excited for the tournament. It's definitely debatable if it's a group of death or a group of opportunity.
Believe me, Albania is not coming there for holidays.
We are in a really tough group again. Italy, first game, Croatia, second game, and last game will be Spain. That's something that I say to Silvino, we need to enjoy. We have nothing to lose. Who knows, maybe we can really upset some of the teams in our group.
What Silvino put into this team was the word team.
The main difference that I'm seeing is that the team is like more unified than ever.
People love him, not just because of the results, but because of the person that he is. The job of Silvino Zavaleta is not just the results and to go there, but to promote the Albanian football.
Silvino Zavaleta, net fire.
We need to make sure that this country, these people, is so proud about the team for what they have done in Germany, the Euros.
Albania earned their place in Germany by finishing ahead of Czech Republic, and Poland conceded just 4 goals in 8 games. However, the 12 goals they scored was the lowest total of any group winners. That's what happens when you put fullbacks in charge. The fans are certainly enjoying it, and
look at this. This is brilliant, isn't it? The spirit.
That's it.
Euro has been fantastic.
I suppose when you extend it to 24 teams, it gives countries like Albania the chance to play.
Well, that's also great about the tournament. Of course, you get to see players and different players who don't get the opportunity, so it's great.
Who's caught your eye in the Albanian team?
Aslani. Wow, what a player. Another player from Inter Milan. Can play in the number 6 role, can play 8 at times, but I think he's the glue in this Albanian team. He really links it together. And I've just picked out some clips of what he does on the ball and how quickly he does it as well. So you see him in this role here. He's scanning the pitch, observing what's around him, and then he knows exactly where he wants to go. Goes there, 1-2, finds the space, and then lovely ball across. But the bit I like about here, he doesn't rush into the box. He's waiting for the second balls in case it drops to him. And then I've got some beautiful, brilliant passes. 1 touch, 2 touch, lovely pass, and it's a lovely goal. You know, so many times you see midfielders dawdling on the ball. He always wants to play forward. 1 touch, in, and on the attack. And I just think if he has a good game today, he could be the difference. 1 touch pass here, again.
That's like Mr. Fabregas.
It's pretty, yeah, that's exactly why I got it. But last but not least, I've got to throw in a goal as well. He doesn't score many goals, but the technical ability of this player is just enormous. Really young as well. Really looking forward to seeing what he can do.
I know, Alan, you're more interested in Asani.
Well, I do like Asani, but not as many Sanis as Michael likes.
Wow. I don't like Asani.
Yeah, too many. If they're going to get anything tonight, then don't be surprised if it's this guy that actually provides. I mean, he's going to play on the right-hand side, but he loves to come inside on that left foot. 13 caps, 4 goals. Started all games in qualifying. These are his 3 goals here. I mean, just be warned, Italy, that he's not prepared. He's not afraid, I should say, to have a pop from anywhere. Those 2, but the last one here, goodness me, the angle, the power, everything about it is stinks of quality. Look at it. He has a look, sees where the keeper is, head down. I mean, that is an incredible strike. So he will be prepared to do that tonight.
How do you see Albania setting up, Seth?
Well, that's I'm intrigued to see, because I hope they will not just defend all the time, because you can see that they have great quality players. The group that they had, Czech Republic and Poland, is definitely not easy to finish on top. So, you know, I'm expecting them to have a little bit of the ball, you know, to make things happen, not to just defend, because otherwise they will struggle, because Italy, they will control the game and they're very good at it.
As a manager now, do you change? We've watched some friendlies, now we're in the European Championship. We've seen teams go on the front and press. All the teams, Germany, Switzerland, Spain, all the wins because of the press.
I wouldn't change, because if what brought you up to here, you know, it is your principles and the way you want to play, I think you have to be positive and brave and go for it.
Seth, do you know what it's like to win back-to-back European Championship? Do you see Italy as a realistic contender this time?
Not at the moment. And they don't even see themselves back in Italy as favourites, and I think they kind of like it. Every Italian person that I spoke to they like not to be favourites. They like to start, you know, from behind and see how things go through the tournament. But I do think they're a quality team with a good coach, and they definitely will have something to say.
It's going to be tough for Albania. It's a big test for them. Italy have to be favourites going into this game.
Yeah, it's going to be tough for them. They'll probably stay in a low block, look to get crosses in the box. Yeah. But just looking at that battle between Broia and Bastoni, that's what I'm looking forward to.
Yeah, I'm just looking at the referee and his assistants there. They look a bit tense, don't they? A bit tight with those shirts as well. Extraordinary. Well, it's time to see the defending champions. It's Italy versus Albania. Our commentators, Jermaine Genius and Steve Bauer.
Thanks, Gary. Loose tops only here for Jermaine and I in this fabulous stadium. And a brilliant atmosphere. Let me tell you, this will feel like a home game for Albania. Their supporters are everywhere as Italy begin the defence of their trophy. Last played here in the 2006 World Cup semi-final, where they eventually overcame Germany. And tonight it is one of the minnows in opposition, as Albania begin a major tournament for just the second time in their history. They've made it clear they're not here just for holidays, but those supporters are determined to enjoy each and every second of it. And of course, to add further spice, an awful lot of these Albanian players play their football in Italy against some of these Italian players lining up against them this evening. That's the setting. It's the home, of course, of Dortmund's yellow wall, but let me tell you, it's a red and black ceiling everywhere. As far as Albania are concerned, their backing is brilliant. And just pause and listen to this as well for the two national anthems. You can feel the passion. You can certainly hear the noise. If this game's as good as the atmosphere, then we won't be disappointed. Well, 9 of this Italian squad from 3 years ago remain. Spalletti was hit with 7 key injuries before the tournament started. with the likes of Acerbi and Verratti out, but he is boosted by the news tonight that Inter's Nicola Barella is fit to start. The former West Ham striker Gianluca Scamacca gets the vote in attack, having finished the season so strongly for Atalanta. And it's the first tournament in 18 years at the back without either Chiellini or Bonucci. Big night for Riccardo Calafiori of Bologna, who wins his third cap, having made his debut only 2 weeks ago. The freshness about Italy, certainly the expectation level not as high as many might expect. Only Spain, of course, have successfully defended a European Championship. The host nation are represented with tonight's referee, Felix Svea. Those Albanian supporters I was telling you about, just pumping up the atmosphere even more. The German referee in charge of his first ever game at a major tournament. Ten of the Albanian squad play their football in Italy. 5 of them start tonight. The Premier League represented by Brentford's backup goalkeeper Thomas Strakosha. He's chosen ahead of the more experienced Berisha. Chelsea's Armando Broja leads the line. The captain, Jim City, is fresh from lifting the Europa League with Atalanta, while Christian Astani faces some of his clubmates, having just helped Inter to the Serie A title. Italy know the importance of this evening, with Spain and Croatia still to come. Spain, of course, earlier in the day, beating Croatia. And strangely enough, Italy will have to try and silence the crowd. Huge night for Albania, who in the red and black are ready to get us underway against the defending champions. Here we go then. Italy though with a different coach, different style, but a manager who has previously succeeded against all odds. And that is something certainly the second lowest ranked team in the tournament believe they can do, particularly this evening as well. It is certainly an intriguing game for us to watch tonight, Jermaine. It is, I think. Oh, it's a mistake. Oh, what a start! What a start!
That was an unbelievable start. That was a good start.
Barami has stunned the holders.
What a start that was.
He plays in Italy. He's just silenced Italy. And if there was a roof inside this stadium, it would be off. What an extraordinary beginning for the team ranked 66
What a start that
in the
was.
world.
Unbelievable.
Well, I was about to say good evening, but I didn't have time. What a start to this game we've had.
Let's hope it continues.
DiMarco. The Barami is on it in a flash. Absolutely smashed it into the back of the net and lights this place up. These fans have been here all afternoon waiting for a moment like that, and it's come in 30 seconds. Italy rooked. What a start to this game. Incredible. We've been told all week that the Albanians truly believed. They can't have dreamt of that start. What is the Italian response? Scamacca's touch, Pellegrini! Wide of the target. Oh. Need to take a breath here. Really good play down that right-hand side. Lovely little flick from Scamacca. He's kind of a little bit of balance here, I think, Pellegrini. He's trying to guide it into that top right-hand corner. Didn't quite get it right, but good response from Italy.
interesting, Rob. I mean, Albania started the game, clearly Silvino has said, look, get the ball forward, play in their half. It was out to the left back, he just smashed it up the top of the park. They've accepted that, Italy can have a throw in. Mistake, goal, and now Italy have got to deal with this.
Those Albanian supporters are pinching themselves. We strolled amongst them on our way to the stadium earlier. They were here 4 or 5 hours before kick-off. Royer has been penalised for that foul on Bastoni, and that's the battle that Michael was talking about.
Smoking the clip up instantly. I think Royer kind of instantly want to show his physical presence on the pitch to Bastoni.
Here he is again. Into centre-back to Calafiori. Huge vote of confidence from Spalletti tonight. 2 weeks after his international debut to start the tournament. Di Lorenzo. It's the Napoli captain again. It's Italy just trying to have a phase of play with the ball. Calafiori. Cleared by Ayati. Di Lorenzo is forced to chase back again here. Saperi right on his shoulder.
I think those moments there from Albania are going to be really interesting today because clearly Italy are going to have a lot of the ball, especially now Albania have got their goal. They're going to play in much more of a deep block and try and catch Italy out on the counter-attack. But when they do with the ball, they do have to try and keep it at times to find those passes into the channels to have counter-attacks. They can't allow Italy just to keep coming with wave and wave after attack.
The reigning champions behind in Dortmund. Di Marco. Well, we've put an official time on Berami's goal now. 23 seconds is the magic number, and it is the fastest goal in any European Championship.
Unbelievable.
And it is only the second ever goal scored by Albania. Whenever that happens in the rest of this tournament, Berami might be getting a statue in Tirana. It's cleared by Huzai. And by Hassan. Finishing top of their qualifier for the first time in their history. In the group with Poland and the Czech Republic. They've stunned Italy. Need to hold us. Flashing something here. Blocked by Jim City. Varela. Pellegrini. That's a clever ball towards Fratesi.
Keep it.
By Jim City. They haven't still got it away here, Albania. They've got a goal kick now.
Yeah, I think the Italians have settled down now from the shock of going a goal down in 23 seconds. Some really cute passing in and around the box. This is where they've got to be clever though. This second phase of play when they're trying to keep the ball and play Albania, the Italians are onto it in a flash, and that's when you'll get caught out because you're kind of out of shape, you're out of position, and can cause you some problems.
One from Stoposo.
Oh, 7-1.
Now Asani looking to cut inside.
Oh, okay.
Shearer was matching onto that favourite left foot. He gets Albania their first corner of the game.
Well, I don't know if Donnarumma's given Di Lorenzo a shout here. He probably did, but couldn't hear him with the noise that we got in this stadium because he had all the time in the world to just try and get that back to his goalkeeper, but good play from Broja.
The German referee just wants a word before this corner is taken. Every single Italian player is back. Asllani of Inter to deliver the corner. In at pace, he's looking for the touch there from Ramadani. Another corner. I was about to say it in front of the Albanian end, but when you look around this stadium, it's all relevant.
It is indeed. They're going to be feeding off that energy all game. It's up to the Italians that break them down.
In again from Asllani, away by Di Lorenzo. Asllani once more up against Jorginho, and round him, and he's called it back. Jim City. This kick from the captain, and then the offside flag is up.
Asllani just easing his way into this game. Bit of trickery down the left-hand side here. It's a lovely pullback in the end, but it's a tough one for the centre half, Jim City.
Marquio.
Let's go for the ball.
Trying to get forward.
Let's go for the ball.
Jorginho, DiMarco, excellent work from Kusai of Lazio. Italy's first corner of the game. Between Messi, Pellegrini and DiMarco. In from the Roma captain. Free header at the back post for Bastoni. And the holders are level. And we've had 2 goals just past the 10-minute mark. And they have it back. It's 1-1.
That's not what I want.
Yeah, they have indeed. So completely worked. Corner on this right-hand side. It's all about the delivery, though. Just trying to have a look at who that is, who just switches off at the back post, but Bastoni wasn't worried about that. Gets himself in there in front of Sabari, I think it is. Just falls asleep, he does. But Bastoni on the end of it. Gets his side back in the game.
Can come back from that.
Just his second ever international goal. He was recalled by Spalletti.
It was a bit of real quality, wasn't it?
They're 10 months away from the international scene. And they are back on terms, and Italy needed that after that early shock to the system.
I think it was well worked, but sometimes if you just shift it for a short set piece, everybody just has to adjust a little bit. And I think because when it works its way out to that in-swinger, the defence tends to take a couple of steps out. And I think it was the Safari on the back post that switches off. Bastoni makes a great goal.
Well, Silvino was telling us earlier in the week that he spent an awful lot of time on attacking set pieces. He'll be frustrated, him and Pablo Zabaleta, that they conceded from one. DiMarco. time for Chiesa. He's been prowling the touchline from the off. The 65-year-old. Retired after that league title at Napoli to the Tuscan Hills before getting the call from the Federation after the resignation of Roberto Mancini. Here he is in charge of his nation at the European Championship. Fiore. Maybe done by Barella, who was touch and go this week. He's going to start this game. Hit by Bastoni.
I think you have to say of Italy, the two centre-halves, Fiore and Bastoni, really good footballers, great on the ball and coming out with it. I think it was Micah that was making the point before the game how important that was going to be for someone like Bastoni to drive through, play between the lines.
As I mentioned earlier, for the first time in 18 years, we've seen an Italy team in a major tournament at the back without a Chiellini or a Bonucci. Those two centre-backs has already scored. This man here.
They've got the quality, it's just whether they've got the other stuff that Chiellini and Bonucci have. You know that, the dark arts of the game that we call it. I'm sure they passed on a few pointers before they checked out.
Plenty of medals in that, didn't they?
Just a few.
Barella. Di Marco took it in his stride. That was towards Scamacca, and that was Jim City with a very important interception.
Really important, really good play. Something they've done really well actually since going a goal down. The switch of play, one side up to Chiesa, this time Di Marco. Just shrugs off Ushai, puts in a decent ball.
Barella. Lorenzo trying to link it with Fatesi. It's come back to Scamacca. Oh, and then the hit is a brilliant one from Nicolo Barella. And Italy are in front. The man who scored in the quarter-final 3 years ago has put his nation in front in their opener here in Dortmund.
And deservedly so, you've got to say. Keep seeing it since they got the goal down, they've been absolutely brilliant. Just bouncing around in the 18-yard box, but the minute it comes out to Barella, there's no look about that. That's just pure quality. Just keeps his eye on the ball, cuts across it. Absolutely smashed it into the corner. That was going nowhere else to the back of the net.
There is just a pause on the Italian celebrations as a goal check. Di Marco, they're checking, didn't catch the defender in the build-up.
It didn't seem like a foul, but they've got to check it anyway. It just felt like a fair challenge for the ball, really.
Check is over. Barella's goal stands. Italy lead 2-1.
Yeah, it's the right decision. There's nothing in that. I think Albania has got to be careful. They're dropping into a back six too often. And when you do that, it's all well and good because you think, well, we're defending the goal, but you leave so much space in front of you. It's almost why Barella just sat there on the edge of the box with all that space to go and you know, have a free hit at goal. They've got to be just a tiny bit braver out of possession. Push some bodies a little bit further forward. Stick with the four at the back.
Chiesa trying to find Fratosi. Strakosha is happy to see that one out. Nice and cagey, this European Championship so far.
You were worried we weren't going to get any goals today, you. Absolutely incredible game.
Just past the 18-minute mark, hardly time to catch your breath. And this match is matching the atmosphere. Boy, penalised.
Just needs to be a little bit cuter in his work, right? It's a bit too obvious. Bastoni is just kind of, he's just reading everything he wants to do and picking his moments as to buy the free kicks. It's got to be smarter in his work, Bria.
He'll actually start a game or score a goal in that loan spell at the end of the season with Fulham. Space with the Pellegrini. Just got his foot in. Such an important player for the Italians. Here he is again. Albania back in numbers. Chiesa though causing issues. And getting Italy another corner.
Yeah, that's good. Really good. They hold their wick really well on both sides, and then they're patient, they wait for the 1v1s. It's been really good from Italy.
Safari with the block there for Albania. Now, the Minnows learned their lesson. This time, Strakosha got something on it. I think from Chiesa, is it an Albanian breakup? That's going to be the first yellow of the night. I'm sure Pellegrini can have any complaints.
You could sense that somebody was getting fouled at some point to stop the counter-attack. It was Pellegrini in the end who sacrificed himself.
Good back for him as well. He missed the Euro 2020 through injury at the last moment. Aslani. Plays his football in South Korea, but because of the contract dispute, hasn't played since January. Club level. Side. Clipped in and watched all the way by Bastoni because Safari was right behind it. Albania looking for the free kick. It isn't forthcoming.
It's So a slight change of tactics here off the ball, decided just to drop off and keep their shape and see if Albania can do anything with the ball to break them down. Maybe just taking a breather from all of that pressing. They've got themselves ahead now and they'll bide their time. Also give them more space as well. The higher Albania are trying to create something, give them more space when they get the ball.
Albania retreat once more. Di Lorenzo. Brilliant from Barana.
It's been impressive for Barana. We'll be delighted to have them out there.
All the Italian media were talking about in the last 48 hours. His muscle injury. Long from Ayata. Dealt with by Bastoni. Inside out, having been part of that team in Serie A with Spalletti. Jorginho.
All like 1 and 2 touch play. No one's really dwelling on the ball. Pass it, moving, keep switching the play. It's it's a recipe that's worked for years with teams that drop it too deep. They've been dwelling on the ball too long. They're much harder to break down, and it's been really one of the good things that Italy have done. They just keep moving it.
Just can't get the ball. That's it, no keeper.
Giving it away there to Ramadani. It's a fair.
It's going to
Goal scorer, Barami. His goal in Euro 2016 against Romania was the only Albanian player to score in the tournament. Barami with that record-breaking goal after 23 seconds has added to that. Assessing his options. Jorginho. Tiring out of possession for Albania at the moment. Jorginho. Possession is Italy's.
shot. To Chiesa instead.
No keeper.
Eventually given away by Jorginho. Hard the Italians work after that though.
Yeah, I think it's key ball at the minute for Italy, but I was just watching Silvino on the touchline, and I don't think he'll mind it. I think right now, the urge might be to kind of get forward, maybe press up the pitch, but the reality is they're a goal down. Try and get a set piece, try and get something to get themselves back in the game, but they're going to stop conceding. It's got to be the first target.
Try and get the ball back.
Of course, 2 live games for you tomorrow here on BBC One. Kick off at 1:35 with Poland against the Netherlands. And then, of course, from 7, England open up against Serbia. Both of those live for you tomorrow on BBC One. Italy in front here in Dortmund after that very early shock after 23 seconds. Just the 5th of a meeting between these two nations. Chiesa still going. Pellegrini headed away by Ayeti.
Oh, he fancied it, didn't he, Pellegrini? It was there perfect for him to hit as well. Lovely bit of play from Chiesa down that right-hand side. He's been a problem for the very old game. He's doing everything to try and get on with him there. Look, grab his leg. Yeah, the acrobats of Pellegrini just got it wrong.
Looked like you've been to one of your yoga classes. You got it that high there.
You're not supposed to be exposing that stuff on here. What's wrong with you?
Impressed by your flexibility.
Let's move on.
Italy have certainly moved on after that early shot. Control of the game. Match there for Tazy.
Keep going for it. Keep going for it.
City right alongside Saka there, and of course club teammates. They just won the Europa League together. Now in direct contact. Not there at the moment. Jorginho.
I do think at some point they're just going to try and get more pressure on the group. Albania. It might be in the second half, as the game kind of gets into the deeper parts of it, but I think you can just keep allowing Italy a load of space. Goes for goal after goal.
And maybe one here. Oh, it's a brilliant effort from Tazy. Back off the woodwork. Now Chiesa. Oh, at the back post. Fabulous skill, though. Down as well, Federico Chiesa.
He takes it, he gets a kick or somebody lands on him, but first and foremost, a bit of skill. There's a nutmeg over there somewhere. Here's the replay now. They can't get out, Albania. Great ball from Scamacca. Little thing there from. I think it was Fatesi, wasn't it? This is a nutmeg there. We'll watch. See you later. No, I think there's falls on him, to be fair, Jim City. Just gone for the dink there for Kenzie. Oh, what a save, by the way. Didn't see that. That's an unbelievable save, because that's going into the back of net. Unbelievable. Keeps his side, within touching distance. They're big moments there.
This is the goal that currently separates them.
Yeah, you can see that there was nothing from DeMarco in terms of the challenge. It's all technique, it's all quality. See Barella do this time and time again. Into Melancher. Top player.
Into double figures now in Italian goals, incidentally, Nicolo Barella. Chiesa is back on his feet. Very important player for Luciano Spalletti. He's 6 of the qualifiers through injury. Of course, he came back from that long-term ACL one. Chiesa is back on. 70% possession from Italy. As you can see, all 3 goals, all 3 efforts on target so far in the game. Reaching this side. To retrieve it with that header. Chiesa heads it on. Jim City in ahead of Scamacca. Bastoni. DeMarco. To his teammate Bastoni.
We spoke before the game about the atmosphere in here, and this is how to kill an atmosphere. When you're a player and you're going into kind of like situations where the stadium's away from home, whether you're playing in Europe or international level, the first thing you tell each other in the dressing room is keep the ball. They'll be quiet. I know they're lying, they're not right now because they're going to get behind their team, but it really does kind of sap the energy out of the stadium when a team like Italy is playing keepball. And I think it's up to Albania to just find a big tackle, a big moment, just something just to spark them, because right now they're just sat there really just kind of waiting, it feels like to me. We keep mentioning it, and they're doing really well against a very good Italian side, but
here they come again. Pellegrini comes to Macca's flick. Di Marco and away by Jim City.
I think that was kind of my point. You just feel that if Italy want to step it up, yeah, they can.
Stunning game mentality from the Albanians, but here's Skamaka, and he's delayed by Strakosha. Two big saves in the last 5 minutes for the Bradford goalkeeper.
Yeah, his selection's definitely been justified by those big saves. Brilliant play from Pellegrini, attacks the ball. And he just stands up well, Strakosha, stands up really well. I think it was Ayeti gets beat by Pellegrini. He's got to be stronger in those moments. Those headers on the edge of the box. Impose yourself a bit more.
Pellegrini with this corner. Fury jumping with Ayeti. Broya. Stoney in the way.
Right, we've got the ball, we'll try and keep it. We'll get forward.
There's a of around 2,000 Italian supporters in a crowd of 62,000 tonight. And they're all smiling, they're all enjoying the response from their team.
Do not give it to them.
Meantime, to Broya. Starting. Safari. His idea was to try and Fusai to continue down that right-hand side.
Wasn't a bad idea. Could have just taken a touch, taken his time a little bit, but you can see what they're trying to do. The job for Albania now to get to half time. Scoreline as it is, get to half time, regroup.
Not try and get one.
Slovenia, Zabaleta, have a chat with them. Form another plan to come out within the second half. And who knows, but just got to get there. It's 2-1.
The team that scored just 12 times in qualifying, the many group winners. a fair, he does get his free kick. So it's moments like these. End of the first half. Bastones is all over him. It's the right decision. Just trying to put Italy under pressure here.
So all set play practice results in anything new as we approach the final minutes of the first half.
Wants to try and get it in the box.
Watching it on that,
They got a block on that close to just to knock it down to a Sane. You can tell he was just shifting it, wanting to hit it. Hits it really well, but it's not on target.
to that one. Inside. 3 minutes of added time at the end of this first half. They began in such dramatic fashion.
Maybe not.
Control one for the holders, Italy.
Come on, let's try it.
The ongoing relationship with Skamaka. Here's Fratesi. Might be something to do with his work rate. There is Skamaka, and then in behind him. Sliding in, Pellegrini.
Really good at that, Pellegrini. Just the timing of his runs, I mean, he's flying into this look. Should be better, really. It's completely mistimed, it comes off his shoulder, but just like how he arrives into the box. He's never really just stood there waiting, it's just last minute. So hard to pick up as a defender.
Of time added on, Dortmund. Italy slow, much to Savino's frustration. So Chiesa on the move. City came across. And it's the end of the first half. Well, lastly, Italy in control, but boy, were they shocked by that man.
Berami, after just 23 seconds, the fastest goal in the history of the European Championship. But then they were level through Bastoni, and it is Barella's strike, ultimately, that has to hold us in front here in Dortmund at half-time. After that first 45 minutes, it is Italy 2, Albania 1.
It's been an exhilarating start to the Euros. We've already had 16 goals in 3.5 games in this tournament, average of 1 every 19 minutes. The record for the most goals at Euros after 4 matches is 19, set in 1976. There are only 4 games played in that tournament. We've relocated to the rooftop terrace just behind the Berlin fan park. It's a great spot, isn't it?
Beautiful,
Very
beautiful
nice,
spot,
very
isn't it?
impressive.
Yeah.
Very good.
It's lovely, and yeah, again, we've had an enjoyable first half, as has been the case in most of this tournament.
I think it's been a really good, interesting first half. I mean, the dream start for Albania,
wasn't it?
Incredible. But then I was really impressed with the way there was no panic from Italy. They stuck to the game plan, believing in what they're doing, and they've got themselves back into the game, and they deserve it because they've been a better team.
Yeah. They've always been tough mentally, the Italians. It didn't faze them, did it at all, going behind early on?
Yeah, they showed great experience, great determination. They stick to the plan, like Alan said, and there was no doubt that once the Albania, for me, they scored too early, I have to say. I think they had a game plan early. They got surprised by the goal in a positive way, but then they defended too deep too early, and that allowed Italy to take control of the game.
Can you genuinely score too early? Really?
In games like this, I would say yes, when your plan and your mindset is to go and defend straight away, the games can become too long.
I've been really impressed with this Italian side though, just because, you know, you watch clips and how they defend, and even under the previous man, Mancini, at times you feel a little bit in the low block, but today they've been on the front foot. All the teams that have done well in this tournament have been on the front foot, and I think that's why we're seeing so many goals in this tournament.
And I think Spalletti, this is his mentality as well, you know, since Roma days, Napoli last year, this is what he likes to do. Young players, energy, always press forward, and you can see that straight away.
What a start to the game. What a start, wasn't it?
Dreamland for them, wasn't it? It was incredible. This is what they were thinking of last night, hoping that they'd get off to a start. But I mean, it's a terrible error, isn't it, from Italy? Hopeful ball forward, and you're thinking, okay, maybe someone can get on the end of it. But Italy get the throw in, but they completely mess it up. You can see here, I mean, DeMarco, isn't it, that he throws it back around. But you can see they're pressing high, aren't they? And that's what everyone's done in this competition. And Berami gets his little bit of luck, he gambles, but Bastoni gets caught, doesn't he? But what a finish! It was a brilliant finish. You can see there from Bastoni. I think he's slow to react. He should be further forward. Then when Berami gets the ball, he's got to be quicker and move his feet a little bit quicker as well and try and get that block. But it's a fantastic finish.
23 seconds, the fastest goal ever scored in a Euros game. What a start it was. Micah, you picked out Bastoni.
Yeah.
But thankfully, made amends at the other end. I think you actually picked him out for his defensive ability rather than his attack.
On the ball as well, and coasting in the back stick.
Okay.
But, you know, with his size, it was always going to be key on set pieces. But I just think he was absolutely brilliant in the first half. But just coasting, just waiting, the timing of the run is absolutely brilliant. You see the next angle here, they're just waiting, Pellegrini just guides the ball in, then he needs to get closer. Because Albania is zonal, it makes it difficult for him. We're all ball watching at the back post, but it was brilliant. It was a great time to score as well. Just give Italy the momentum that they needed to go on and kick on.
Interesting, the goalkeeper's behind the line there. Now, I understand he messaged you. He slid into your DMs, I think they call it nowadays, didn't he? Bastoni. It's so confidential, you showed it to us. I think he said the best pundit in the world. Too funny.
He didn't say that.
He did. I've got evidence. I've got evidence that he did say that. What was your reply, though? Was it grumbling? You talked about the importance that Barella was fit before the game, Cesc, and so it proved to be. What a great finish that was.
Yeah, technically I think it's the best moment of the match. Italy opted for this 3+2, as we can see. Barella and Jorginho controlling the game, switching sides. They have great mobility. The positional play has been good from Italy. You see, when you play against deep blocks like that, you need to penetrate. You need give these little, find these little pockets, attack the spaces very well. Italy, okay, they're a bit lucky here, but what a ball, what a strike. We know we played, we know how difficult it is. You know, when this ball comes straight back at you, you know, to hit it with this quality is fantastic. And yeah, I still believe that if Italy want to do well, Varela will be a key player.
Split second to think about that. A split second to adjust your body, and the technique is wonderful.
It's not all like that. It's many times technique, lovely.
I feel not as much as Alan and Gary, but
I never hit one from that far ever, Seth. Don't worry about that. I think it's the 10th game that he scored for Italy, and they've won every one of those matches when he scored. So that's a really good omen. Strakosha, we've seen at Brentford, obviously, made a couple of important saves to keep them in the game.
Oh, there's no doubt about it. Two great saves, actually. Really quick to react. First one from Fratesi. They work it really well to get in. A little bit of luck there. But the way he runs in behind, letting that pass there, it's wonderful. And he stands up there, doesn't he? And he makes the forward make a decision quicker than perhaps he may have wanted to, but his reaction is fantastic.
So quick to
superb. There you go, look at that, just flicks it to that side and flicks it onto the post. And then another one from Skamaka, he gets in behind. Work it well again, good header, good touch. And again, he stands up, tall, big.
Good angles.
Good angles, really, really good.
Yeah. Strakosha's manager at Brentford, Thomas Frank, incidentally, will be joining us for England-Denmark on Thursday, but this was another chance.
Pellegrini, wasn't it? I didn't have to do a lot there, but that's he actually comes off his shoulder there, you know, look. Doesn't get the connection once, then off his shoulder. Another good opportunity missed up.
Good start to the game for Italy. Eventually, after that, you know, must have shocked them a little bit.
It did shock them a little bit. I mean, but it was all about how they're going to bounce back. I think, in terms of tactically, how Italy is setting up, we thought they played a four at the back, which they are, but in possession, DeMarco's going really high. That's leaving space for Chiesa and for Chesney in the wide areas. And Albania don't really know how to deal with it. They've got numbers back. But it was similar to Scotland and Germany yesterday. They've got numbers back, but they're not aggressive in the way they're pressing.
Yeah. Can you see Albania changing tactics in the second half, having a go?
Maybe not for now. I think they will stick to the plan, but eventually, if they want to get something out of the game, they will have to.
Okay, plenty more sport coming your way this summer.
Something extra that is not normal.
It begins with the goal of winning everything.
And they have this
That makes them special. In the last few minutes, just turned.
legs were jelly. Only more frowned upon for playing football.
That's a turning point for us.
Rated 77 years away.
Epic sport documentaries. Watch now on BBC iPlayer.
The Wayne Rooney Euro 2004 documentaries on BBC One tonight at 10:30, or catch it on iPlayer. A reminder that this match is available in HDR on iPlayer. And tomorrow night, England open their campaign against Serbia. We're live on BBC One and iPlayer from 7 o'clock.
Two words. Blowing up.
This is hard work, long hours, high pressure. You're in over your head. You're not doing whatever it takes. People's lives are at stake.
We are so different.
Explosive US drama. Watch now on BBC iPlayer.
England travelled to Gelsenkirchen this afternoon, but before they left, Kelly Summers sat down with Gareth Southgate.
Gareth Southgate.
Well, Gareth, fourth major tournament as England boss. You've learned so much, I'm sure, from those. What would you say are the main things that you've taken with you into this tournament?
Well, obviously had 4 as a player as well, so I've been at a lot of tournaments. I think recognising that things are never straightforward. You know, we want to be here for another 30 odd days, and some of those will be lovely days with good training and no issues, and other days will be more turbulent. So there are lots of aspects of tournaments that I think experience can help us with, definitely.
And it's Italy who are the champions of Europe.
You came so close. How do you reflect on that tournament, in particular the final?
Well, I don't now. For me, it's an irrelevance. Whatever reputations we have, whatever history we have, you have to deliver for the next month. It's good that we've got players that have been through all of that, but equally we have to tweak it every day.
So much has changed since Qatar, with half of your squad changing. Did you expect that turnover?
No, I didn't necessarily expect that 2 or 3 months ago, really. But we've had physical issues with some of the players, and we've had some young players who have played exceptionally well this season who deserve the opportunity. So we have lost some experience from the group. There's a different sort of bonding process going on as they get to know each other, but there's also an energy and an excitement and a fearlessness about players that have arrived, which is also adding something different.
Do you have to win some?
Well, I personally know the consequences of not doing that, but I also have to remind everybody that this is still a young group of players. My job is to protect them. The job is to allow them to perform. But expectation has risen. My job is to guide the players through whatever the beginning of the tournament might throw up.
And finally, a lot was said about whether you were going to stay on after Qatar. Sitting here now on the tournament, how pleased are you?
Yeah, it's a privilege to lead your country into a tournament. I felt that going to Russia. I feel that now. To be at Newcastle before the tournament, reminding myself of Bobby Robson and how he spoke about the privileges of the job.
It's been a marvellous experience. I've experienced situations that, you can't get unless you take on the job. It's made me a better person, I'm sure.
You can never hear too many of those sorts of things as a manager, because it does remind you of why you do it. The great privilege that it is.
Well, he certainly brought a togetherness to the England squad and the support for the England team. Cesc, we've heard a lot from Mike and Alan about England over many months now. What's your view of England at the moment? Are they a contender, serious contender, do you feel?
For me, definitely. I mean, I can see Gareth getting asked the question. Is it time now? And he's a bit cautious about the answer, because obviously he knows the repercussion that this can have. But from outside, let's say as a non-Englishman, I'm very confident that England can do very, very well. They have the potential, they have the ability, they have the togetherness. You can see their friends, they play together through the ranks. I mean, players that they've had fantastic seasons on top of it, and for me, definitely, they are one of the big contenders to make it this year.
Confident, Micah?
I will be later. Maybe later on in the competition. I mean, it's just in terms of players, with the players we have, I think we've got the best individual squad in the tournament. As a team, there's a couple of positions I'm not quite sure about just yet, and that's the holding position alongside Rice and left side. Even though Gordon, I think, has been fantastic. I think it was bold from Southgate not to pick Grealish, because I think we'd all had him in our squads. But who cares what we think? This is our opinion. He's got to make the decision. He's the manager, and that's what he's got to do. But I just think them positions, I'm not too sure about as a team. So individuals, but not as a team.
What do you mean, who cares what we think? What's the point of doing this job then?
Well, I'm talking about kind of Southgate.
I'm only kidding. You're generally the voice of reason, Alan. What concerns would you possibly have? We heard him there. He's very conscious, isn't he, of the implications of not winning for him personally.
I think he knows it's probably now or never. If he doesn't win it, I don't think he'll be England manager. I think he'll make that decision himself. When you consider the late great Bobby Robson got to a semi-final of a World Cup, the brilliant, amazing Terry Venables got to a semi-final of the Euros, Gareth has got to a final and a semi-final also. But he also knows now he's got to take this very good team he has, and he's got to make them into a great team.
Undervalued, underappreciated.
At times, yes, because of where England were when he took over. Now, I know he's got new players coming in there without the experience, but they are brilliant players. Some of them are brilliant players. He's got a great talent, a talented squad, There are concerns defensively, but there should be big hopes, and rightly so.
Okay, let's see the team that did win it 3 years ago in 2021. It's Italy, Albania. Italy lead 2-1. Let's rejoin Jermaine Genius and Steve Bauer.
Thanks, Gary. Italy to get us underway in the second half. Neither coach has made a change in half-time. Albania's challenge is to try and change this scoreline. Can we start the second half anywhere near like the first? I'm asking you absolutely anything in the first minute, Jermaine, please. Nothing, just take it away. Have a good minute and watch the game. Let's let them play. Albania, who lost to Switzerland and France narrowly at Euro 2016 in their very first experience of tournament football, then did manage to beat Romania. Remember, they had Croatia and Spain in waiting after this one. Tazy dispossessed by Safari, who finds good. A little positive from him.
Take themselves 10 yards up the pitch and try and press a little bit higher, win the ball a little bit higher. Italy just kind of sit in, keep the ball and try and pick them off. It's going to be interesting to see how it plays out.
Pushing at 2 very smart saves towards the end of that first half to keep it at 2-1. Barella's vision to Frattesi. Forward to players in the starting 11. Italy tonight.
I think this is a moment now for Albania to get up the pitch, and actually commit to a press. They're just all a bit half-hearted, too much space there. Nobody kind of knows when to press or how to press.
Waiting pass from Jorginho into Frattesi. Start for his club. Income start for his country tonight. Tierney's run there, Jim City away. And then Skamaka to hit one. Not too much of a sight of goal, the former West Ham striker.
It's first sight, really. It's well wide, but he plays that kind of target man with real quality in this team. They can bring the ball into him, he lays it off, and I'm sure he'd like to score more goals. I'm sure Spurs would like to get him on the score sheet tonight to get his confidence up as well for the tournament, because it's really hugely important for Italy. If they want to go deep into this tournament.
He was left out of the score completely in March. Wasn't expected to start the tournament. Here's Chiesa. Marco.
They've not really got left out of the team playing PlayStation too late or something.
That's exactly it. The quote was from Luciano Spalletti: "We're going to win the Euros, not Call of Duty."
Poor guy's just trying to relax. Enjoy his evening.
Suffice to say that consoles were banned from the Italian camp.
You used to get banned for going out, didn't you? Now you're getting banned for going on Call of Duty or just any computer game.
Did you get banned for going out, by the way?
Not me, not me.
Just a generalisation.
You know that.
Of course. easy.
You want your centre halves to be aggressive in the tackle. You want them to be getting close, but it just felt like he's overstepped in, or pulling on his arm. He's just had enough there, bro. He's thrown his arm though. He does have to be careful. I think there was a lot more prior to that as well.
And there is a potential red card check underway of the German VAR official.
There's definitely a moment there of throwing out.
It's a yellow.
Yeah, I think it's fair. I was surprised he didn't put the guy back to say, but it was just frustration from Broya. I think he needed that though. He needs to get himself involved in this game. He's arguably their best player. You know, he's one of, if not the best. So a bit of that sometimes as a player is live and short, makes you want to get involved. I've had to see him drop it at the team to try and make things happen. He's almost just waiting for the ball a little bit too much.
So he's the first Albanian in the book. Two Italian yellows now. Albania free kick. Which Aslani is going to take. It's another go. Three-man Italian wall. And Aslani hits it straight against it. Aslani bore the brunt of it.
Pulling out there, not kicking him, pulling his shoulder. He wasn't, but even when he's not got the ball, and I do think Broya has to be careful. So he just flick his arm there. A couple of those, and they do daze you. I can tell you, you do feel a little bit kind of full stuff. It catches you in the wrong place on your head, and you're clearly doing the right thing around all the concussion protocols now that thankfully we have in the game.
Thumbs up there from the Italian doctor. For the scorer of Italy's equalising goal this evening. Played once in the last Euros against Wales. He was in that squad to learn from the Maestros. Jim City.
We're not really getting anywhere, Albania, but it'll do them the world of good just to be knocking it around, get a bit of confidence in their play.
Everybody trying to get on the ball. All over the top looking for Goya. Over hit. Thumbs up for the idea. Can they? They're just half-hearted every single time. You've got to commit to one or the other. You know, get your defence up to the halfway line and go after them. If you get caught out, you get caught out, but it's just like, shall we, shan't we type mentality at the minute, and it's just too easy to get out when you have quality like they have in midfield for Italy. Touch. Reach Fratesi right now. Fratesi! Then that goes to closer. Flag was up anyway. The back to goalkeeper didn't know that. Yeah, it's fine. It's another big save from Fratesi. See how little speed up the play there, Italy. A lovely little flip round the corner from Scamacca. Another one from DeMarco. It's tight, isn't it? It's really tight. I think he's just offside, Fratesi, but a couple of bits of quality. Step up the speed of the play and they're straight in. Let's go back. He's had his work cut out with Chiesa tonight so far, but got back well on that occasion. To turn. 11th game in charge since succeeding in the better sheet. His only defeat is to England at Wembley. Having been part of his first two squads. He had a really good end to the season with Arsenal as well, didn't he, Jorginho? Had a big kind of impact I felt in their running and a calm head on the ball in a really high pressurised moment. They wanted the same again in an Italian shirt. That's the new deal at the Emirates Stadium for it. Headed out by Kusai. Chiesa didn't give it up though. Wilbrecht's running it back and then Chiesa's shot! Well, we've seen him do that a few times over the years. Let's start with Chiesa. We're down this right hand side. You mentioned earlier he's been a real menace. But
actually thought that Uday did alright here. Overplayed it in the end, and Skamaka was onto it in a flash, and then it comes to Chiesa. You're going to see that gap there, just trying to guide it into that corner. Is definitely capable. Yeah, he gets it right, doesn't he?
That's how close it was. Still, the Italians can't get that goal to give themselves a 2-goal cushion.
Yeah, I think they'll be okay at the minute, but for the 5 or 10, then you're definitely thinking, well, we need to get another one. All it takes is one mistake, a set piece, and we're back to square one.
Estonia on the charge. Georgian. Afghan supporters in the stadium doing their best to try and lift the spirits of their players.
They've been brilliant, haven't they? All day, all night. They've been absolutely sensational.
Such a huge moment in their footballing history. So big the Prime Minister suspended the Parliament for 10 days to enable over 100 ministers to attend all the group games. When you've got influence, you can't use it.
For the right things.
Yeah, we've seen that Albania wanted to be at these games. To say the least, into Pellegrini. Cortese takes over. Now Chiesa. Pellegrini wants more. Able to get bodies back behind the ball. Jorginho. Pushes back by slightly. It's coming straight back again at Albania. Chiesa. Is that too strong for Cortese? It is.
Just trying to cushion this. I think Subpassive would have pulled it off, so he's just trying to cushion it into... I think he was trying to bring it into Skamaka, but he's just overhit it into Cortese's run, and he's doing his best to keep it in play, but he's trying to nick that one around the corner, I think, there. Morena.
Into a side. There's Tassar. Calfiori to regain possession for Italy. amazing 50-kick capture Italy tonight. There he is again. From Ramadani. Still the same scoreline it was after 16 minutes. Skamaka. Chiesa. Left me tight for Italy corner. And I've got danger from most of their corners tonight, Italy as well. So Vinio's going to be trying to freshen things up in his Albania side in a few minutes. Doesn't surprise me, they do look a little bit leggy at the minute. Italy's fourth corner. Pellegrini and DiMarco again involved in the discussion. In from DiMarco. Free header again at the back post, which is deflected for another corner. He's dug out an unbelievable cross. Pellegrini falls over the ball. You think it's kind of done, but again, whipped into that similar area where Bastoni gets his goal. Lorenzo this time gets his head on it. Good block by Lucia. Aforementioned DiMarco is still take charge, but only after the referee Felix Svea has intervened. What's going on? Bastoni's just trying to get the yard. Through. In from DiMarco. Very comfortably by Aslan. Slovenia and Albania are preparing their first change. So attack down the right hand side with Aslan. Albania free kick. There's a double Albania change. Incidentally down there. And it's Quentin Lacci of Sparta Prague. Arba Cicia of Dinamo Zagreb. Sani is the first to depart. I mentioned his lack of club football. Contract dispute, that's no real surprise. Lacci is coming on for Safari. He played a couple of times as a substitute in qualifying. Slani's free kick. Well dealt with by Bastoni. First involvement for the substitute, Hodja. Taking on for Tazy. Albania corner. That's really good in this first place. That's what we need, with a bit of positivity in the corner. He did one, and Rula got his head to it. His hand rather and completely miscued by Aslan. That's his dream, isn't it? Playing for Inter against Italy to score against them. Had a good game tonight, Aslan. Always wanting the ball, waving on the ball, waving possession. they'd be one goal behind to give it a go, they would have taken it.
Absolutely, they'd be delighted with it. And, you know, from an Italian point of view, you're definitely thinking we need that third goal now, because you know, they will get to a point in this game where it's still like this. So, you know, we will roll the dice at some point.
One and only effort on target resulted in the goal after 23 seconds. Italy penalty area in the second half yet, Albania.
I don't see that being their way that they break Italy down. It's going to be a set piece, it's going to be something remarkable from outside the box. You know, that's what they're going to wait for.
Taser, finished by Ayati. Somebody's in a race here, and he won it.
Trouble, really, at one point.
Just a second with Berrani. And don't forget, of course, the double bill of live football tomorrow, 1:35 here on BBC One. It's Poland, Netherlands, and then, of course, John Gary, the team from 7, as England play their opener against Serbia, both live for you on BBC One tomorrow. And, of course, the iPlayer. Wanting the free kick there, wasn't forthcoming. That ball over the top of Breuer, and he got it right all evening, and he actually wasn't to go into his stride.
Yeah, it's just too flat, too straight. He's, you know, Breuer's making more runs into the channels and they're clipping him over like Di Lorenzo's head or you know, something he can run onto. But anytime it's straight and flat like that, Donnarumma's just collecting it easy. It's not a problem at all. I think Albania will be better in this half. I think they've shown they've tried to get a little bit higher up the pitch. You know, their press isn't perfect, but they've tried to get on the ball, they're trying to make things happen. As you said, I think 7-3 minutes in, 1 goal behind Italy. I mean, a bit random, wouldn't they? I mean, really got a chance here if they can just find something the crowd seem to believe. And Italy have took the foot off the pedal a little bit.
Yeah, still work to be done. This means an equaliser did go in. I think they might get that in Berlin, let alone in Dortmund. Flatese. Still wearing the Albanian substitute a yellow card.
Really necessary that from Hodja.
Joining Breuer in the book for his nation.
Just flinged an elbow into his back. He was pressing him in. There you go. Flatese just gets the gift. Goes down. Lights the place down.
Taken by Di Lorenzo. Cross. Not by Hodja.
should go from Broya. It's better. And he gets his body in the way. He's going to have to do that. He's got two top-level centre-halves playing against who are physical with him as well. This time he gets his body in the line with the ball, takes a whack, but he also gets his team up the pitch, free kick.
It's his last involvement, because Broya is going to be taken off now. This is Ray Manai, who years ago played 4 games for Watford, something of a maverick character. So recently returned after 2 years away from the international scene. Cristante and Cambiasso are going to come on shortly quickly as well, but Mane for Broya is the Albania change.
He's given it a go today, Broya. I mean, he was right up against it. Bastoni and Calafiori, they were on him every time he got the ball. It's more fresh legs, Albania. See if that can be the change they need. I'll be hoping not.
18 goals in the Turkish league this season. So Cambiasso of Juve, one of those called up to the squad after the defensive injuries. And Roma's Cristante replaced Chiesa. For Italy. Ahead of Di Lorenzo, and their right back Cambiasso of Juve. He's decided on a 5-year deal. Pellegrini to then be the other Italy player to depart.
They've gone Cristante in midfield now with Jorginho. Barrella's just going to go out to that left-hand side, and I'm sure he'll play a lot more central when they have the ball, but without it, he'll feel that gap on the left. Just a little bit more assurance of Cristante in there, I think.
Calafiore's challenge. Husai carries on for Albania. Off DiMarco, Calafiore in the way. Cristante, early out to DiMarco. Easy on the move. Cristante. Made 6 appearances at the Euros 3 years ago. Experienced. Might have a new feel about it, but it has got a little bit of depth about it, the Italian squad.
Yes, yeah, I think they look like the kind of team that can play their way into the competition as well.
DiMarco, direct. Making sure that Strakosha is full of concentration.
I'm sure hopes probably weren't that high with Italy coming into the tournament, but you look through the team. It's got good balance, looks pretty solid. It's got a creative midfield. I think if Scamacca can get his shooting boots on and get involved in scoring some goals, it could be a problem. I mean, the next couple of games, obviously, against Croatia and Spain are really going to... We'll probably see what they're really about.
This is Mane. Bastoni dealt with that situation.
He was calm there, wasn't he, Bastoni? Got a little grab of his shirt there, though. You can see he's fully locked in on his shirt. He's only just let it go. You see that? He's so kind of cute with it, though. You know, the shirt's not been pulled to a point where the ref can see it. He's just got hold of it. It's a bit like, you're not going anywhere, but the ref's not going to see this time. I think it's... Maybe Chiellini did tell him a few things. It's all about the master. Cambiasso. Back to Di Lorenzo. Inside the last 10 minutes now in Dortmund. In Group B. Spain was 3-0 winners against Croatia earlier in the day. Italy still with just a 1-goal advantage. Done by the left-back Nitai, but cleared only as far as Cristante. Italy throw. Another double change from Spalletti. Matteo Darmian and Matteo Retegui. Coming on. Retegui, of course, is the straight swap for Scamacca. Darmian equally so for Di Marco. Another interplayer from the champions coming on. His 44th cap. He recovered well, Di Marco, today from that early mistake that he made. Always a threat down that left-hand side with the quality in his left foot. Darmian, just much more of a defensive-minded player. Probably won't get forward as much.
But again, like Cristante, vast experience to bring on.
Vast experience, yeah. Been a part of the Italian setup for a while now.
And fresh like 5 of them now from that Serie A title where they finished 19 points clear. Here's his first touch.
That's always a good thing as well, isn't it? In any team, isn't it? Yeah, but not just that, you've got 5 players from the same team. All know the way each other plays, you have that rhythm, that understanding of each other's game.
Jorginho. Fratese. Almost behind Retegui. With Calafiori. Cristante. On the Roman midfielder. Clear foul. Lorenzo didn't find Barella. Well, there's minutes, there will be hope. for Albania. Into the last 5 of the 90. Away from Di Lorenzo, taking on Bastoni. Unable to make any further progress.
Yeah, it's good from Cristante, just backed up his teammate. Lovely turn from Hodger in the first place. Just thought at this point, can you get a corner? Can you just get something? Cristante just doubling up. That's why he's in there, really. Spotting those moments.
One last throw of the dice from Slovenia. This is Ernest Uchi of Besiktas. He's on to replace the man who has now scored the fastest ever goal at the European Championship. Nathan Bayrami.
Be a good first question that one day, won't it?
By Jim City. Husai. Back to Jim City. Spalletti's down there, hands in pockets, walking up and down the technical area. Because understandably, Max fully just that one goal advantage, even though Italy haven't really been any danger.
They haven't, no, but it just don't take a lot. As we saw with the first goal, just a moment, lapse in concentration. They just need to play kickball now. They need to just sit there and don't give away free kicks will be the message. Don't give away set pieces. Keep the ball, keep the shape.
Almost didn't keep it there with Calafiori.
Sometimes when you bring on so many kind of defensive-minded players, from an Italian side, he's thinking great, shot, keep, the one-goal lead. But from an Albania side, all of a sudden you're thinking, well, I ain't got to deal with Chiesa anymore. I've not got to deal with DeMarco down his left side anymore. I can take a couple more risks, actually. You start to just nudge your way up the pitch, just because you're not really got to deal with as much anymore.
Darmian's lost possession. Mucci. Husai. Huge roar from the Albanian supporters just because they're in Italy's half.
I think they're screaming now just to get it forward. We're getting to that point in the game. It's just it's time to take some risks. Even just a long ball now into a forward, get some bodies around him, just do something.
Strakosha finds Husai. We're in the last minute of the 90. There's the long ball. Towards Mane. He got there first as well! Right across the face of the goal from the substitute.
I think you saved this, Donnarumma. What a ball that is. Brilliant from Assalani. The touch was spot on. I think he gets something on that. You can see the celebration. They've given a goal kick. You can see it from here. He got something on it. Just there, hits his body. Big save. Massive moment. That's going in the back of the net. did everything right, he knew.
He's telling the official that
It was clear as day.
got a touch.
Clear as day, you could see the deflection from here.
Renewed belief for the Minnows. Donnarumma's taking his time now.
He knows that one's going to work. Just on his ribs.
Another supporter on the pitch, which is why there is a delay. We're into 4 minutes of stoppage time.
I think we need to start getting some specialised stewards who wear a pair of studs. Here's the ball. It's a lovely pass. He watches it all the way, does everything right. Calafiori can't do anything about it. The touch is perfect. He's trying to lift it over Donnarumma. Oh, what a save. What a save.
Michael Fiorenzo of Verona is going to get just his second cap. And his debut last week against Bosnia. Varela, as it stands in the match winner, courtesy of that goal. Who's going off?
Well, when he was in midfield with Jorginho, I think he's a class above today. Varela, probably the best player on the pitch. Showing real quality.
Fiorenzo only made his Serie A debut at the start of this season. He's a tournament second Italian cap. Ayati's header. Tiny reminder to Italy that this isn't done just yet.
I think they made the decision almost towards the end of the first half that we're going to sit off and we're going to try and just pick you up every now and again. They've kind of got themselves to blame that they're in this position.
Albania furious about the decision. Italy free kick.
Yeah, it's a foul. Shows you how Spalletti's feeling about this game. Wants this game done and dusted.
What will be your takeaway of Italy from what you've seen tonight?
I think the first 45 minutes, I like the way they composed themselves and got themselves into the game. I think that the balance of the team looks really good. Defensively looks solid. The two midfielders are Jorginho and Varela, very good. I think in the second half they've just been a bit more tired, a bit slower in the way that they've played. But I think it's been a good start from them. You know, they've not finished the game well, but there's been a lot of changes on the pitch. But like I said, I think when they go up against Croatia and Spain, we'll see what they're really about. But as it stands, they could be a threat, Italy. As usual when they're in these competitions, to be honest with you.
Slightly foul. Looks a few more seconds tick by. This needs to go forward from an Albanian point of view. And it does from Mitai. Sergio is trying to get the free kick.
He had his arms around him, Lorenzo.
Aslan. No look at the watch yet from the German referee. It's an animated Spalletti down there at the moment. Lacci. It's coming through to Hodja. Mitai! And that, you feel, should be that.
Yeah, it probably will be. He's just trying to... it was one of them where he seemed to get caught in between. Does he cross it? Does he hit it? And he didn't either. You can't help but feel why you not done this earlier.
The holders make a winning start. After the shock start, behind after 23 seconds, they responded calmly. Few nerves at the end against the second lowest ranked team in the tournament, who took the lead after 23 seconds. But Italy then took control, and they have begun in Group B with 3 points. Here in Dortmund, they've beaten Albania by 2-1.
Yes, 3 points for Italy, but it got a little bit tense right towards the end, didn't it? That goal could have come, couldn't it, for Albania, and that would have been magnificent for them. They would have stolen a point, but as it is, Italy are the team that collect the 3 points in their opening fixture in Dortmund. This is just the second time Italy have come from behind to win a match at the European Championship, and it leaves them second in Group B behind Spain on goal difference. The top two meet on Thursday, and a point apiece would leave both of them highly likely to reach the last 16. Albania, who scored only their second Euros goal tonight, will face Croatia a day earlier. There's Donnarumma, a huge save from him, wasn't it, towards the end, Alan? I mean, Italy looked in control, Albania didn't really look a threat, but you never know when there's only one goal in it.
No, I said at half-time that I was really impressed with their attitude and how they came back into the game and didn't really panic, but I did expect them to kick on in the second half, but that never really happened. They couldn't sort of break them down, 1 or 2 half chances, and we all kept on saying, you know, there's going to be a moment where it'll be a bit edgy for them, and that's exactly what happened with 3 or 4 minutes to go. And you're right, that save from Donnarumma was a huge save.
The Italian team celebrating in front of their supporters. Have you seen enough from Italy to think they're a threat, Seth?
Well, I agree with that, and I think we saw in the first half a good reaction, good personality from them. You could see what Spalletti is trying to do: control games, find the pockets, open the game up, you know, with Marco and Chiesa. But yeah, second half we expected to be fair, a little bit more, to be more going for it, try to make things happen, and they didn't. To be fair.
What's it like when you play in a game like that, Cesc? I mean, you played plenty for Spain, when a team's sitting deep and you just want that other goal, but there's an element of fear, isn't there, that you might let something in at the other end. You've got to be cautious at the same time.
Yes, you have to, and I think that's why they play this 3+2 to get control of the counterattacks. But you have to be brave. You have to go for it. In the last minute, they could have conceded a goal who could damage, you know, the progression of the tournament. So for me, again, they need to be a little bit more dominant and a bit more brave going forward.
Yeah, I thought with Italy, we saw in the first half how they can press and how they want to set up and be on the front foot. And in the second half, I thought they were just a little bit more patient. In terms of in the game, the damage was already sort of done for me, and it's like if Albania would have scored, maybe Italy could have scored again. It's almost like it was 2 Italian sides, and I like that for the tournament, how they can adapt to the situation. Obviously it got a little bit scary for them at the end with that big chance from Manai, I think it was, but yeah, I was impressed with Italy. I really was in terms of front-footed.
Yeah. In terms of Albania, and obviously when they conceded 2 goals after they'd taken that early lead, there was a danger that they could, you know, Italy could run away with it. A little bit like happened with Scotland last night. At least they stopped that.
Yeah, absolutely. I said before the game, when we did a little bit of analysis on Scotland, about how easy it was for Germany in terms of there was no pressure on the ball, and they made it far too easy for them. I didn't think that was the case tonight. I know Italy dominated possession, but certainly in the second half, I thought Albania made it difficult for them without really having a goal threat. Obviously, in the last couple of minutes they did, but I think that would probably be their game plan, is that they would have been happy with that going into the last 20 minutes, only being 1 down.
Yeah, that's how they lined up in the second half, isn't it, for a lot of it. But you know, they've done themselves justice. They can hold their heads high, otherwise they wouldn't be doing that in front of their own fans.
They could have folded if they didn't. When I spoke to Silvino and Pablo yesterday on that first time, he said that the spirit in the camp is brilliant, and they showed that out on the pitch today. And like you said, there's moments in the games where you thought they could crumble, but they didn't.
But what a start they had, 23 seconds.
No, it was like an unbelievable start for them. I mean, a lot of help from DiMarco and the throw in there, and Bastoni didn't really help him out, to be honest. But Barami gets it, takes the touch, moves it out, and then smashes it into the roof of the net.
Fastest ever goal in the Euros by 44 seconds. The only goal netted quicker at a World Cup even came in 2002 with Hakan Şükür's when he struck after 11 seconds.
Great finish though, wasn't it? That what a great finish, head down, and keeper's got no chance there. What a start for them. The fans couldn't believe it, could they?
They had the edge in the fan parks as well here. This is not too much blue in Berlin.
It's a great shot though, that, isn't it? It just shows you what it means to the fans. Absolutely brilliant. This is what the Euros is all about. These moments, it's great to see.
Yeah, it was the perfect start, wasn't it? Bastoni, you smiling there, Mike, because you picked him up before the start of the game. You could say he might have been at fault for the first goal, but he certainly made amends with scoring at the other end.
I think Alan's being harsh, if I'm being totally honest. But we know the size of him, we know what he can do in the air. I thought he was outstanding all game. And it was a little bit of naivety from Albania's part on here. The set-up in the zonal, lovely ball from Pellegrini, see Safari and Bastoni there. He just switches off at the vital moment, close in the back, and he's just got to get his head on it. Beautiful ball in, and it was a great goal. I think that showed the spirit of this Italian side. You know, I mentioned how they can adapt, and they can play through the lines, and they can score through set pieces as well.
And then Barella, Cesc, what a beautiful strike, wasn't it? And a very difficult technique.
Yeah, definitely. We said at the beginning of the game that he's for me the diamond of this team. He's a special player for special moments, and he showed that tonight. If Italy, want to progress well and play well in this tournament, they will depend big time on this player. He played a little bit deeper today than what he does normally for Inter, but he's a very complete player. Look at this, what a strike! You know how difficult it is, a vertical ball that comes to you. You need to adapt your body. And it's a very, very, very special goal, because it means...
What about Hussein ducking there, Cesc?
Yeah, well, I think Mike has to talk about this.
He was coming pretty quick, but he ducked out of the way. He wanted your defender to be nice and strong there, stand up.
Because you can compare that to Bastoni on the edge of the wall, and he's taking one full on the head there. He was treated for a while.
He's brilliant.
That's
what it takes. That's what it takes.
Yeah.
He put his body on the line for the
It was a fantastic strike though, wasn't it? It was incredible. I said at half-time about how you've got a split second to adjust your body, get the technique right, get it on target, the power and everything else. It was a wonderful goal.
Yeah, it certainly was. They scored after 23 seconds. Their next chance, their next shot on target was with 25 seconds to go. It could have been, but for Donnarumma. Could have been a moment.
Yeah, it was. I mean, you're probably best to talk about this, Alan, but Manai there with a strike, what does he do wrong, or is it just a great save?
Well, first of all, it's a great pass, and then the touch. Perfect. You can see the touch, he's into his stride there, but then the reaction of Donnarumma, you can see what it means to him, how he's really quick out, closing him down, making himself as big as possible, and watch his reaction. His reaction's incredible, but that's the touch that I'm on about there, to watch the ball all the way and then put it into your path.
He's done nothing wrong with it.
Well,
he's done as well as he could. It's a brilliant,
really good save, really good save.
Unbelievably not given as a corner, which was a bit strange. Now, tactically, you were looking at DiMarco and how he was changing positions in the game, Micah.
Yeah, I just thought it was a brilliant tactic, because the way Italy set up with 4 at the back, but his position, it was a 3 at the back in the build-up, and just look at his position there. What Albania did, they kept their press narrow, you see there, just highlighted, which gives space for Chiesa and DiMarco down the sides. I just thought, when he was on the ball, he was absolutely brilliant, and they didn't know what to do with him. You see Chiesa in a wide position here, but just keep an eye on DiMarco here. If it's a better ball, once the ball finally gets into the box, he's got a tap-in, just couldn't get the right purchase on it there. But I just think, in terms of him on the ball today, he was excellent. Whether it was outside or it was inside, with his little touches like that for Patesi, it was brilliant. And then he goes on a solo. He said, okay, I'll go through the run. And this is the confidence he was playing with. And this is another player from Inter Milan. This Italian team have got some really intelligent, quality players. And I was really impressed with Italy today. I really was. They've got so much to their game.
I would be disappointed if you're fullback when you're having that much possession of a game, if your fullbacks aren't prepared to get into forward positions, you know, particularly the way that Albania are playing, how deep they're sitting. You'd expect particularly your fullbacks to get forward, and he did it really well tonight.
A proven player in big tournament football, Chiesa. He was superb 3 years ago. Cesc, he's a consistent performer, isn't he?
Yeah, he had a big injury that made him lose a little bit over the years, but he's back at his best. He's got that pace back. You know, in football, in modern football nowadays, players like these are so important because either they come to you man to man or they defend it, and players that they want to get, you know, into the ball, they want to make things happen one against one, to liberate spaces for your teammates. You know, and not only that, after he puts his head up, you know, and he makes it. Look at the defender here, you know, he tries to stop him whatever possible way. But again, you know, he opens the pitch up here, one touch, looking for the run from deep from Pellegrini. You know, he's got everything in his locker, and I think he'll be a very, very important player here once again. You know, great crossing behind, fullback to fullback practically. It is wingback to wingback, and you know, he made things happen the whole night, and the fullback will go home, you know, dreaming about Chiesa tonight.
Wow. And yeah, he's a player I've followed a while. He was at Fiorentina. He was really outstanding. Then he went to Juventus as well, and like Seth said, he got that bad injury. We wondered, would he come back and be the same?
Yeah.
But he was sharp, he was tenacious, his passing was good.
For a bit, but you can see his back.
And he can run as well. You know, we talk about players getting into the pockets, getting on the ball. He's willing to stretch, and that's what I like about him.
Next for Italy and Spain, Seth, that's a big game. Probably a point each. You'd probably see them both through, to be perfectly honest.
Yeah, big game, and I think obviously the winner, I think, will win the group. But not only because of that, I think it's a statement to the tournament. You know, whoever wins, I think there are two teams that we basically said it at the beginning. Nobody really expects them to do that well for this year, but from what I've seen today, they have a lot to say.
Yeah, and Spain, I would say over the two games that I've seen today, that you would give them the edge, personally.
I would think so. Yeah, I think from what we've seen today, Spain just edges it from the
Yeah, I would agree with that. I mean, Italy have done their job tonight. They had to win the game. They did. Really good first half, not so good second half. But that Spain team looked tasty.
Yeah, I just think Morata was captain. I thought he was outstanding in the game, but he came off injured, and it's just whether they can. They've got Oyarzabal, who's a really good player as well at Sociedad, but his pace and his confidence today was brilliant.
Spain have won, Italy have won, Germany have won. You know who's playing tomorrow?
Come on! Come on, it's time! No, I'm not calm.
Go easy, go easy.
I told you later on.
I keep telling you, you were saying I'm waiting. Now you've gone early.
Yes,
you said you weren't going to go early.
I'm excited.
Yeah, okay. Well, we'll find out very shortly. Micah, thank you very much. Seth, great to see you. Alan, you too. That's it. Albania thought they might rain on Italy's parade. However, Barella came to the rescue.
Volume 13. Volume 10.
What exactly do you do all day?
I chase down stories.
episodes on BBC iPlayer.
So, boys, tell me, why do you want to adopt? I honestly think undeniable what we can offer as parents.
You need to stop hating yourself.
It's time you grew up. It's like being back at school and no one wants to play with us.
That's what I feel. Hi.
We both have to want to love, otherwise it'll be a disaster.
I will adopt Jake, whether or not you.
Lost Boys and Fairies. Press red for all episodes on BBC iPlayer.
Now, the BBC Weekend News with Rita Chakrabarti.
Mute.